to listen to me talking. I'm competing with the bottle washer and the cutlery washer out there. So this is a talk about innovation, but particularly innovation in marketing. So I should maybe be over on the other stage, but I'm over here. So how many people would think that their marketing is really innovative? Hands up who thinks they're doing a good job at the moment in the marketing. Innovative. Yeah, good. Anyone think they could do a little bit better? Yeah, I think everyone can always improve. So we work with companies to help them, particularly in marketing and innovation. And what I want to talk about today is how to make innovation your secret sauce. Okay? So we do a lot of work with food companies, drink companies, and just watching the whole food sector. There is a big food fight going on. There's we work with, say, like the likes of BWG, so the big food companies, and then they're setting up new initiatives. But then at grassroots level, there's a lot of small startups. There's a lot of, which is very, very exciting because we come from the tech sector, and there has just been a golden age of technology startups. All these startups coming up through technology, and we're getting the same now in food. And it's a lot easier to set up a food company than it is to set up a really successful technology company, or so it seems. So there's a lot of different challenges. Obviously, with food, perishability is a big issue. Distribution, getting it to the market. There's a lot of challenges that, say, wouldn't be with software. But so there's a big fight happening among the larger players, the smaller players, and the intermediaries as well. So we see. We see this is like Foodie 10x, where there's exponential growth in the whole food sector. We work with, say, likes of Roz Purcell. So Roz is, like, everywhere you look now, there's Roz. I think I saw her, Camille yesterday, Camille Tai. I've seen her with Green. She's everywhere, but she's herself, and there's a lot of new wave of food influencers. So you're going to see James talking later on, James Kavanagh. And are you all familiar with foodie influencers? Are you working with any foodie influencers at the moment? Would you know how to do it? Would you know why you would do it? So again, another whole new area. Again, lots of positives, but then kind of negatives, because does it actually work? Are you better off doing online ads, or are you better off doing traditional PR, or so again, these are some of the challenges. But massive growth in celebrity chefs, celebrity people in the food sector. Everybody's got a cookbook now. Hands up who's got a cookbook? No, I don't have a cookbook now. Do you have a cookbook? Yeah? Do you? Good man, excellent. Oh, stop there. So it's I see a lot of models as well moving into food. So it's the cool thing. It's growing very, very fast. So foodie culture is everywhere. Social media is pervasive in that, and also food for good. That people are really copping on to healthy food. My body's a palace. There's a massive explosion in triathlons and training and fitness, and finally people are, with the likes of Jamie Oliver, inspiring people to get rid of the crap food and just eat nice food, good food. Doesn't have to be difficult to prepare. It doesn't have to be expensive to prepare. It doesn't mean that you're a snob. It just means that you enjoy good food. So this is all great at helping grow this sector. So consumers are saying no to a bunch of things as well. They're saying no to the status quo. They want change. They want more choice. Craft beers. People want something other than Heineken. They want new flavors. They want new choices. They want and they want it now. They want change. They're also saying no to self-denial. There's no point. They don't want to beat themselves up over having a burger or having food. And they're saying no to unhealthy eating. It's now cool to eat well and take a photo of your food and share that photo. So these are some of the bigger trends. But also the expectation economy. I don't know if you've heard about this. If you can read more about this with over on trendwatching.com. But the expectation economy means that an expectation that a consumer has in one market is transferred over to another market. So, for example, if I use my phone and I order a Halo cab, I expect to be able to press a button and get food. The expectation is transferred over into new sectors. Same with Uber Eats. Halo, Airbnb. So people want to get, it's on demand. I want it now because I can get my taxi now. I can get everything now. I can get my movies now. Why can't I get my food now? So these are trends that are impacting, and they move from sector to sector very fast. So it's moved from transportation to FMCG and moving into food. So we're going to look at things like the future of food marketing, food innovation, and just some of the things to watch out for. Now, I'm very conscious that you guys don't have the budget of Domino's, or maybe you do, but I'm going to show you a mix of examples of what some of the big guys are doing and then what some of the very small guys are doing. So depending on your budget, you can still do cool stuff. You can still be innovative with no money. If you've no money, you've got to be innovative generally. So we help brands that have, oftentimes very small budgets, but they want to do something innovative. They want to try something, and that's going to show you a mix of examples. But here's an example of Domino's. Again, it's back to this expectation. People can now and want to order Domino's by text, by tweet, by voice. There's by TV, by smartwatch, ordering by your smartwatch. So there's multiple ways people just want to press pizza and give me pizza. You can now SMS in a pizza emoji, and they'll order you, get your pizza. So it's getting to emojis are now a way of ordering pizza, because that's what consumers want. They're using emojis. So, can you get a little emoji done for your product and get people to send it in, and you send it out because you've got an account set up with them, etc. So people are, want it now. They want it in new ways. They want it everywhere. And this is an example of one big brand, what they do. 50% of their sales now are via digital channels, which is about 5 billion. Here's an example. This is something we did in Ireland for Cooks Academy. So it's a small one of Ireland's top cookery schools in Dublin, but still, again, a small business. And they wanted to celebrate their 10th birthday party. So we ran an event for them called Pixels and Palettes. But we sent out edible invitations to the journalists and to the influencers, inviting them to this delicious event. And this was just beautifully written, very nice, great event. Come along, and then when you're finished reading this, eat it, because that's what we want you to do. We want you to eat our press release. So you could eat the paper. It was made on rice paper. So again, just so people were taking photographs of this and sharing it. So every touch point, can you make it innovative? This got people talking, and they turned up. And we also had a pop-up studio, which cost about 50 quid. A little pop-up studio branded with Cooks Academy and Sony, who were sponsoring it, where people could, there was these cookery challenges, but they had to then take a photograph of their food, and there was a competition for the best photo. Very simple, but brings their brand. Their brand was everywhere. So that was a couple of little things with a very small budget for a small company. And even your website. I like this example from Kyo's, where they've got a spud nav. Have you seen this? So you can get a little code on your packet of crisps, and it's about sourceability, traceability. Where is this coming from? You can put the code into the website and you find out what field that the potatoes came from. I don't know how useful that is, but it's kind of interesting, and it's kind of a bit of fun. So even your website can be a little bit interesting. So what can you do just to get people talking and say, oh, check this out, spud nav, this is a bit daft, but I like it. So you have to try and innovate around your website. I like this example as well. This is butchers. So these butchers are doing better marketing than a lot of big companies. And it's a really nice website. They could have had it covered in blood, Reservoir Dogs style, but they didn't, which is probably a good thing. So they kept it nice and clean, and they've got things like beef bonds. You can actually get a bond. You can buy some beef on an animal that's out in the grazing. So you can advance purchase. You can subscribe to an animal. And they've butchery demonstrations. It's really the experience, subscriptions, and really looking at that consumer. And then Sheridan's have cheese and wine club. So how can you extend your brand into neighbouring areas that are complementary? And then we helped Greens & Co launch recently, and it's really pushed through their website and social. Instagram is huge at the moment. We do a lot of work with companies on Instagram. Instagram has about 800,000 Irish users. So Instagram is perfect for food. Beautiful photographs, and people are just point click, but there's a lot more you can do as well to make it really smart, to make it travel. So we're running the Instagram awards as well. I'll show you that in a second. Another example of a bigger company which is using personalization. So personalization, can you personalize your product? It's a little bit more tricky, but this is the dream. Mass personalization is where you really want to be, but that's very difficult. But what Cadbury's have done is they've got vending machines with 12 different types of chocolate, and you've got to log in with your Facebook account. It looks at all your likes and your activity and recommends bar chocolate for you. So it kind of works out what type of, if you're a little bit mad, it might give you the crunchy, or if you like traveling a lot, it gives you the Turkish delight. So it just just gives you that kind of good feeling about, that's clever, I like that, it's a little bit extra. Because you know, even a vending machine, which is again not impossible to create, can have that a really good experience, but really focusing on shareability. Everything about shareability, sharing it onto social networks. Think about packaging. The lady was talking about packaging. This packaging or glass with glassware. So Cobra have innovated around the glassware so that it's got these grooves down to the glass, so that the beer flows down slower and more smooth, and it releases all the aromas, and it gives it a better head. Can you innovate in your packaging? Can you innovate in anything, everything that you're doing? Because this is what's going to have people their touch points with the brand. So looking to the future, because I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to run through some examples. But in the future, we can help you work with bots, so food bots, messaging bots via Facebook, etc. So bots, we'll look at sharing economy, open source, digital influencers, and 3D printing. So I'm just going to show you a couple of examples of this is what's happening, and this is where it's going to explode. So bots. Have you been using? Have you experienced chatbots on Facebook? You might interact with a brand, and actually it's a robot talking back to you. You might have noticed it, but this is coming. There's going to be more and more to the forefront. So different brands having their own bot. So we are working on a recipe bot at the moment as well. So if you want to do recipes using your products, and then you can talk to the robot, and the robot tells you what you should be making. These are all type of things we're working on. So recipe bots, food bots. Another thing is the sharing economy. So we're sharing bikes, sharing cars, sharing homes and Airbnb. There's sites now about sharing food, sharing chefs. And this one where you're sharing. It's a neighbourhood food movement, Ripe List, where people are sharing. It's through consumers and also local farmers markets, etc., where people, they might make amazing pies, and then they can, share those or sell it locally. So local produce, local marketplaces, using the social networks that are out there. It's ripe for innovation and new ideas, and particularly in food. Food is really, really hot. I don't know if you're familiar with the open source movement, but open sources are in software where you write your software and then you leave it open. Other people can use your software, and they can use it, they can adapt it, they can get a copy, and it kind of creates this collective software. This is happening now in food as well. Now Soylent is a drink that is designed that you don't need to eat anything. You just drink Soylent. It has everything that you need to live normally. All the nutrients, all the food groups, everything is in that drink, and this is now on sale. Some of my team have ordered it, and they seems to taste fine. But the guys that have developed it have put the technology, they've open sourced the code on how to do this. So open source, again, another kind of far out thing in food, but it's happening now. Influencers like Jamie Oliver have people like Jamie and Roz and James and many others, very, very influential in areas food and fashion, etc. And if you want to work with them, talk to us. We have a relationship with them, and we kind of work out the best approach. But they're selling tweets, they're selling Instagram posts, they're selling videos, they're selling everything. They could be selling a tweet for €1,000. That's one tweet. They could sell one Instagram post for €1,000 or less or more. And some of them even, like the bigger ones, even more. So if you have £5 to spend, you might get 5 tweets or posts, or you're not going to get much. So again, if you're planning something like this, talk to us because we can help you get the best deal and try and work out is it actually the right thing to be doing in the first place. Because if you've only got a £5 budget, it's a big risk to try it all on influencers. This is an example of a campaign we did for Huawei, and we worked with Brezzy and Kian Toomey and James and a host of others around a phone launch. Now this is really quirky. Can you imagine printing your food? So 3D printing of food is here now as well. So you've heard of 3D printing, but 3D printing of food? Yes. So this is very, very far out. Get a recipe and just make it at home. And look at you probably can't see so well, but the intricate detail is phenomenal. So that's 3D printing of food. So how do you innovate today? Well, you can always copy somebody else's idea. It's a good start. Just somebody else is doing something in a different market, copy the idea, localize it. Ask your customers, observe your customers. Look at interactions on your social channels, complaints, questions, combine something, eliminate something, run brainstorms, and we'll show you how we can help you in a minute. Watch the competition, use social networks, and then maybe contact Connector if you're really struggling. So some of the companies we work for like some small startups, some SMEs, and then also some of the bigger brands. And we're an open innovation studio in Temple Bar. These slides will be shared on connector.ie, so if you want to check them out afterwards. We actually are running a game over in the main coffee area. If you want to grab a card, we've got an innovation game which we're launching today, and it allows you to look at different technologies, different objects, different data sources, and how you can combine them to come up with innovative new ideas. Because for people, it's not. They don't really have the vocabulary or the experience to try and say, how do I project my business into the future? So this is something that we've launched, and we can invite you to join us after this. And then we also do social media.ie training. So if you just want to get back to basics and learn digital marketing, social media just for your business, we run sessions one-to-one or in a group to really look at your business and give you the solution for you, not for a business up the road, but just totally customized. That's something we can do for you. And then the Instagram awards. If you love Instagram, Huawei Snappies. So Huawei Snappies, we run that. The awards are on the 17th of November in the Mansion House. We've had a huge amount of entries, and there's prizes from Just Eat, Huawei, Guinness, RTE, Hewlett-Packard, Microsoft. So they've all come together and put up prizes and got involved. So if you like Instagram, you've got to check that out. And if you liked anything here, if you've got some questions, I'm going to hang around for a little while, and then we're going to go over and play some innovation games this afternoon. Now I've got my talk out of the way. And there's my details. And if you want to grab a card about the innovation game and learn how to get a copy, because we're running free events in Temple Bar, so just come along, get a card, and if you have any questions, then feel free to shout. Thanks, guys.